Hi, this is Roy. Welcome back to the training. In this module, we'll talk about how to manage the follow-up and the important things that you need to think about. The investment navigator will run the initial communication and the follow-up for you. In whatever way you set up the campaigns, things will run. But when people engage with you in communication, you'll need to answer any questions they may have, and you'll need to nail down a meeting to speak with the people that are interested. And then of course you're gonna need to conduct the meetings yourself. There are 3 different inboxes that you need to monitor, and if you don't have time to do this, you need to get someone on your team to help you with it. How much there will be to respond to totally depends on the communication you run. Do you have multiple licenses? How many people do you engage with, etc. But there is your email inbox, and then LinkedIn has 2 inboxes. One is for the normal LinkedIn, and then if you decided to also get the Sales Navigator, then you need to monitor that sales inbox as well. By default, if you have Sales Navigator, all the outgoing communication that is done by us, all the replies to that communication will be in the Sales Navigator inbox. And if you don't have Sales Navigator, it will all be in the normal inbox. And when you're dealing with communication like this, it's always a good idea to qualify people and then bring them onto a call if that's of interest. And one good way to do that is to have what we call response templates. So what I recommend that you do is to create a Word document, and in that document you collect the most common responses that you give to people, because you'll find over some time that typically the responses you get are quite similar and the responses you give are quite similar. So you can actually start creating templates, and that might be something like, great, we'd love to have a call with you and explore this further. Here's a link to my calendar which shows my availability, etc. Something like that. Or if they're not interested, maybe you have a particular response. This is just a lot quicker than you having to respond by typing each message. And then the second bullet point here is calendar application. So if you're not familiar with it, there are services out there which allow you to connect something like Google Calendar or Outlook Calendar or whatever to their service, and then that service will provide you with a link which you can send to people, and they'll be able to schedule a call in your calendar, and it will take time zones into consideration. So it's just a very easy way to get appointments scheduled. Of course, the alternative would be to send a couple of times manually in a message and suggest those times, and then have them confirm, and then you sending them a calendar invite. And some example of these are Schedule Once, or Once Hub as it's called, Calendly, and even HubSpot have their own version of it. So you may want to check those out. And then the CRM. You should have checked out the video setting up your CRM. And in that video, we explain exactly how to get your HubSpot account, how to configure it, and we talk about the status field, the email opt-out field, and what they're used for. But I want to just repeat that now, because this is quite an important thing for you to know about. So let's go to your HubSpot, press a contact, and if you haven't configured your HubSpot in the setting up your CRM, I recommend you go back there and do that before this video. But here is the status field. New, by default, any contacts will be like this, new. And when you get a response from somebody, you want to change it to interested, maybe later not interested or unqualified. And that will notify Investment Navigator that the contact have responded, and it will log the interest here. And then in the campaigns you'll be able to based on that status either continue or discontinue the communication. And then the other field you want to use is if they say unsubscribe me from all communication, then you want to use this one and set it as yes. Now keep in mind that this field should only be used for unsubscribes or opt-outs. If they just responded, you just change the status field. But these two fields are very important, and they will tell our system if people are unsubscribed or whatever, and you want to keep that updated. And remember that you should use the right status field here. It needs to contain these options. If you have some other alternatives in here like active, inactive, you're using the wrong status field, and you need to go back to the training module setting up your CRM. So that's a bit of information on how you can manage the follow-up, how you can discontinue communication, etc. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, contact us and we'll sort it out. Thank you very much.